It's been almost 90 years since the Old Courthouse in downtown St. Louis heard its last case. Now, I'm not sure what the case was or its significance, but these courts have heard a man sue for his freedom, a woman sue for her right to vote, and recently, in this building's first case in almost a century, a man sue an invasive species.
Oyez, oyez, court is in session, all rise. The Honorable Anna C. Forder presiding.
In the rotunda of this historic building, there was a judge, a jury, a defense, and the plaintiff.
My name is Dale Dufer. I'm an artist from St. Louis, and I'm bringing bush honeysuckle to trial for the damages to the biodiversity of our native plants.
The attorneys are real, that's a real judge.
And Miss Henry, you may call your next witness.
And the witnesses, like this gentleman from Forest Park Forever, are providing true and expert testimony.
It spreads quite easily, mostly through seed.
However, this is just a mock trial, and the verdict will have no legal standing. So why fake sue an invasive plant? Well, to understand why, you have to know honeysuckle. Bush honeysuckle was introduced to the United States from Asia in the early 1900s as ornamental wildlife cover. It seems like the perfect plant because it leaves out early in the spring, remains green in the late fall, grows quickly, tolerates drought, and provides natural privacy between neighbors. What's not to love, right?
Would some people say, because, oh, it's a pretty plant, that maybe you're beating up on it today? Because it's just a plant. How is it going to defend itself?
But at the same time, you have to look at it. You have to look at the issue.
Well, what makes bush honeysuckle so attractive is devastating to our natural habitats. Here's the deal. Bush honeysuckle outperforms native plants. It grows so densely it shades out everything on the forest floor, limiting sunlight to native plants, often leaving nothing but bare soil, preventing forest regeneration. And if that's not bad enough, some research suggests that bush honeysuckle releases a toxin into the soil, making it really difficult for anything else to survive. And because of its red, delicious berries, birds do what they do and spread bush honeysuckle around our region like wildfire.
It's really good at what it does. It really knows how to pull us in and kind of like go, okay, I've got this space. I've got that space. Now I've got that space and that space. It's a beautiful bush, great privacy hedge. But then I start to really look at it and go, wait a minute, nothing else is growing. I don't have any baby trees coming up. You know, when we plant some other plant down there, it dies pretty quickly. So when we started removing it, what was left behind was essentially nothing.
Dufer is not alone in his distaste for this shrub. There are conservationist groups all across Missouri who are concerned about the damaging effects bush honeysuckle has on our ecosystem. And the issue is even greater than what's happening in our backyard.
Greenways in St. Louis are also referred to as trails.
Kat Dockery is the executive director of the Open Space Council. She explains the importance of the riparian corridor, the sacred space between our land and our waters.
You know, the importance of riparian corridors is that it really allows some of the stormwater runoff that's coming to be stopped, to be soaked up before it goes directly into the river, which causes more, erosion issues. It brings a lot of, the oils that are on the roads right into our water. So it really acts as sort of a filter for the water before it gets into the river. That's very important. The other thing is, so our native plants have really been great for the riparian corridor because they, their roots go so deep. Native plants have a significantly deeper root system than invasives for the most part. And those plants allow the bank to really become stabilized.
And we all know what honeysuckle does to those deep-rooted native plants, putting the health of our rivers and streams at risk. But the good news is, people like Dufer and groups like the Open Space Council and the Shaw Nature Reserve are working to eradicate bush honeysuckle from our parks and public spaces, saving our natural habitat. Meanwhile, back at the Old Courthouse,
Closing argument?
Ooh, honeysuckle! Ooh, honeysuckle!
Order in the court.
Things were getting a little heated. Closing arguments were made, and the jury deliberated.
Has the jury arrived at a verdict? Yes. Okay, thank you. The verdict is as follows. We, the jury, find in favor of the plaintiff and award the plaintiff a judgment in the following respects. Bush honeysuckle shall become classified as a noxious weed. Humans shall take action to eradicate bush honeysuckle in conjunction with sustained biodiversity restoration.
We won. Now, of course, it's the responsibility for all of us to take action. Actions speak louder than words, and it's a matter of being a responsible person.
Well, there's no time for anything else, just digging up that honeysuckle. There's no time for anything else, just digging up that honeysuckle.